I posted a video showing some destruction around my area from Hurricane Helene, and it is a disaster out here. But a subscriber said, would you walk around your property and show the damage that's around here? So I thought that was a pretty good idea. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna walk down the road and see some trees that were falling. And then I also want to head up this hill over here, and we're going to take a look at the hydro system, shut that off, and then also shut off the ram pump for the season as well, just to get those things done as we're taking a look at trees down and any washout that may have occurred. For your reference, the house is up here, and I've got solar power over here that feeds my four-wheeler shed and also the studio down there. There's a good sized oak tree that fell right here, and luckily it missed the studio by about 15 feet or so, but it also missed this solar array down here by about, what, 5 feet? A few of the branches did hit. I cleared them off, but nothing big enough to do any damage, and I'm very glad that it fell far enough away from my top array right here. Walking down the road, and for reference, there is the studio up there, and I've got a big oak tree right here, and I doubt you can see it, but right up under there is my fiber internet. It is down, but this tree, most of the weight is on that one branch there, and I just cut a path underneath. I'll have to get back in there and finish cutting that out, but it also missed the studio by a good ways there. The day before we had 30 inches of rain, I cleaned out the ditch. Luckily, it lasted pretty good, but it did skip out right here, and then once it got to this spot, it started eating away. I don't know if I can show this very well, but this right here is about, I would say, 16 inches deep. So yeah, lost a lot of gravel right here on the road. So that is much deeper than it used to be. The water was over the road a little bit right here, which is kind of hard to believe. It jumped out of the creek bed, went around these logs, and washed out some gravel down there as well. Here's my fiber internet. As you can see, it's a little bit on the cut side. I don't know when we'll ever get that back. This little road just goes around the ponds, but I'm counting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees down on this road. So long story short, we just had a few trees down and some rock washout on this side. Let's go to the other side of the property and take a look at where the water was over that road, and also I'll show you the trees up the road before we head up the mountain. Normally I would ride the four-wheeler up the mountain, but I have a feeling that's not possible now because during the storm we heard tree after tree snap and fall up there. So let's go take a hike up there and see what kind of tree damage we have. During the height of the storm, we did not leave the house, but I could see down here at the road that the water had jumped out of the creek over the road and was washing down. And I took a couple little video clips. They're not going to be very clear because it was from way up on the house, but where I'm standing now was underwater. So everything from about where the road is here, all of this was underwater, everything over here, and all of that was flooded. So I had a half of a blue 55-gallon drum, which was way over there. It floated up and over, and I'll show you where it ended up down here. Well, I don't know if you can see it through there or not, but right in there, like right there's where it is. It's all smushed up and disfigured. So I have not been up this way yet to see the damage that's happened, but I mean, I'm seeing one tree already right in there. But first, this was our way out. It took us 7 hours to clear 18 oak trees out of there, and then a bunch of little scraggly stuff. The creek over here is way bigger than it used to be. This water's not normally here. Look at the amount of silt. That's not usually here. Oh yeah, it's squishy. Ram pump was destroyed, it would seem. I won't have to worry about winterizing that. Oh yeah, this is way deeper than it usually is. Normally I can stand on those rocks without getting wet to work on the ram pump. So I don't know I'll be doing that without some really good boots on. I forgot to mention, this is 4 weeks out from the hurricane. The creek ate away my little path here. It used to be about 2 feet and now it's 6 inches. It looks like it has kicked over my bucket, so that's no longer attached to where it used to be. So at some point, the creek, which is usually over here, is now over there. So let's find out where it's cutting over. So somewhere under this oak tree is where my ram pump intake used to be. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that for the spring, but it looks as though way up here, the creek has now shifted. Yeah. So that it is now coming down here on this side. So yes, right here where this big pile of rocks is, used to be where the creek was, and it would go off down that way. But now it has completely shifted and it is over here on this side. This is the micro hydro system that I installed several years ago, and it does still have water in the penstock. So let's go ahead and go to the top and turn that off. Now I've got a 3/4 inch pipe that goes around and over to the tiny house. One of my other YouTube channels in the spring is going to be having some fun small scale hydro videos for that channel. So I'll share that with you in the spring. All right, let's follow this 2-inch penstock 1,100 feet up the hill here and see what kind of damage we've got up top. Hydro penstock on the ground, hydro penstock in the air. Yeah, it's definitely still full of water. Well, I guess I can pull that off of the tree that's fallen and put it back on the ground. So yeah, the penstock goes right under there. I'm gonna have to walk, I guess, way up over here to get around this tree. All right, there's the path I just came up from. So there's 3 more trees right there past the one I was showing you. The penstock, well, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Penstock is right here coming up. I'm seeing 8 more trees down over here. Well, my little bridge is kind of still there. It's knocked down right in there a little bit, but I can see the pipe is still going up above the water. So that's a good thing. All right, well, as you can tell here, it's gonna be a while before I can make it up past these trees. So, gosh, I'll be back in just a bit. The tree roots pulling up the penstock seems to be a common occurrence now. There's another one. So look at this. There are 0 trees left right over in there, and they have all fallen down. And you can see clear sky up there. That right there looked more like this 5 weeks ago. So from what I've heard, when trees start snapping off of the top like this, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that it's either a tornado or a gust of wind flies through here. When I stepped out of the house this morning to make this quick video, I never thought that it would take me 45 minutes to walk 1,000 feet to get up here. I'm guessing the wind went straight up between the 2 sides of the mountain here, and the trees were leaning towards the creek because they seem to have bullseyed the creek the whole way up. I hiked over there for a while to get around them. But I'm almost to the intake. I've got to go through, looks like maybe 15 more trees up here. I can see the intake barrel. It is right in there. It looks as though a tree is right on top of it. Okay, I'm getting in here to see the damage to the hydro system. Looks like the pipe there is a little bit disconnected. A small tree crushed the pipe right there. So I don't know if that little section will be usable in the future, but let's check out this barrel that was used to separate the silt and the air. Well, I mean, to be honest, I would say it's usable. I wonder though if I can get that cap off to drain what's left of the water, but okay, I managed to get the water out of the barrel. At least that won't freeze. We can save one component of this. These 3 1.25-inch poly pipes were feeding that barrel down there, and they had a little bridge that brought them up over here. And they used to be attached right here to a little manifold. All right, there it is, the intake of the hydro system. Yeah, the wood portion is still where I left it, and the Kiwanda screen itself is just very buried in all of that rubble. And I think the reason the creek is over there now is because of those big rocks right there. Okay, well, for those that were asking, what does my property look like and how is the hydro system? I would say my house and the property around is fine, but the hydro system, I don't know if I'll ever get this back up and running, to be honest. It's in terrible shape. And honestly, I'm not sure which way I'm gonna go to get back out of this. I started this video at 10 o'clock and it is 11:20 right now. It has taken me an hour and 20 minutes to walk this hill that usually I could be up in about 10 minutes. So, yikes. Well, okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. For my normal subscribers, I will try to get back to posting some land to house content soon. We have been recovering from a lot, to be honest. And it took 3 weeks for my power to come on, and it has taken about that much for UPS and post office to get back up and running. The ram pumps that I was shipping out, I was driving to Tennessee, about an hour and 15 minutes away to get my orders out. So if you want a ram pump, I am shipping again, so that's a good thing. That's all frozen up. My goal was to use the pressure from this pipe with a nozzle in order to film some hydro videos. I had this nozzle right here, and it was shooting out past the road over there with about 65 psi. But we'll have to come back later and do that because it's going to take me quite a while to get this thing fixed back up.